So thank you again. At this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Wade Hampton. Okay. Wade Hampton. He is a visual artist, dance performer, dance instructor, videographer, born and raised in Little Rock, Arkansas. He attended and graduated from Parkview. He also attended the Kansas City Art Institute in KC, Missouri, and attended grad school at the School of Visual Arts in New York City. He has performed at the Presidential Center, helped pass U.S. law for the CPO A. Jones portrait at the U.S. Post Office. Also responsible for that portrait. He co-directed, edited, produced Arkansas United's 10-year highlight reel featuring.
It was featured at the
gala.
Yes.
At the Presidential Center. Today, he is going to be showcasing imagery for Hearne Fine Arts portrait campaign, and he will be doing an on-location painting and a dance video.
Well,
he's gonna show.
I'll be showing it. It's here at the table.
Okay.
And I just wanted to note one more thing. I did perform with Cirque du Soleil.
Yes. So this is like a true Renaissance man. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the table a little bit. Everybody put your hands together for Mr. Wade Hampton.
How's everyone doing? Pretty good, pretty good. Once again, my name is Wade. Wade Hampton. I'm born and raised here. And my part, I was brought in to speak on creativity. Basically, like, I see it as what's your pulse, what's your intention in life? You know, what's your direction? Mine just happened to be, we're all documentarians. We're all in whatever shape, form, or fashion. On the surface, I just happen to be, so what? I'm a dancer. So what? I paint a little bit, but I'm documenting my journey. So the quote that if you go inside the gallery, if you have not been in there, the quote by Samuel Lewis speaks of it all. But I want to speak more on the visual arts, first of all. I've been with Hearne Fine Art for a while, for a few years. So I met Garbo when actually a friend of mine brought in a portrait I did of his mother when she was on Main Street. She asked who the person was, and then I met Garbo, and then that's when she was on Main Street. I showcased a few pieces, and since then we've had solo exhibits, group exhibits, up until recently within the past 5 or 10 years, where I started employing not only with the visual arts exhibits, but also talks on art preservation combined with like dance performances, things of that nature, and demos and stuff like this. What I have here, I have, I guess as I'll sort of speak about it, but I just gotta go off. This is playing right here. I'll keep keep it silent. This is also part. What is the portrait campaign? For those of you that are looking to sort of commemorate, what better way than to commemorate, a timeless memory, family, business, events. In most cases, it's good respect with a portrait, a drawing, an oil painting. So whether it's an actual portrait of someone, or if it's a landscape or a still life. So part of the way in how I document these things is like I'll do paintings from photographs or in person. In this case here, that's yours truly. This is actually on July 4th. It was 2017. I was on the Ontario side of the Niagara Falls, and I had my iPad set up, and I wanted to document myself painting the Niagara Falls. So that's one way in which artists, I'm a representational artist. We have artists of many sorts. They like to see someone in person, as opposed to the MP4 or the CD. They want to see what it's like in person. So this is I'll let this play here. At any point in the afternoon, you can come by and look at it. But that's me just painting the falls. It took about maybe 3.5, maybe 4 hours. In the outside conditions, a lot of discussions with people as it happened. And this is actually a sketchbook. It's pretty much just a red book. That's all it is. But why red? Because as a painter, I'm very fond of the primary colors and the neutrals: red, yellow, blue, black, and white. Obviously there are specific colors, but I like to think that just in general, I can take those colors and I can make anything in this room. But I like red. It's a very strong color. Red is actually, it was a primary color by Diego Velazquez. who was a Spanish painter. A lot of painters that I looked at him. So red is a really good color that I like. And I'm just gonna flip through. These are just various sketches at various museums around the world where I've gone in with my pen and just to study, you know. As much as I can, I like to go to these museums and I have to seek and find imagery of us, of so-called black people. If it's sculpture, if it's paintings, if it's drawings, you know, I like to sketch them. You know, study, you know, how in-depth we are. So I'm just gonna quickly flip through. Some of these are, where is that? Oh, that was in Boston. This was, yeah, quick little sketches. I'll give a quick little pen. Yeah. This is ballpoint pen. Why ballpoint pen? Is that's the most efficient way for me to sort of carry around my supplies. You know, no paints, no watercolors. Yeah, so, yes. And so this was actually at the museum in Boston. I'll just quickly just pan through here. At any point, even after the event, I'll be here for a while, so you can come up and get a closer look and we can talk about some of the things right here. This is a friend of mine. I had gotten involved with documenting my visual arts and dance performances. I gradually got involved into videography. I remember it was about 5 years ago, Garbo had, I was out of town, I was coming back in town, and she said, when you get back in town, I want to talk about a project. Fast forward, that was the Scipio Africanus Jones project. And so that was eventually passed into US law, went through the House, went through the Senate, and signed by the 45th president. And so that portrait is actually hanging permanently at the US Post Office on Main Street. So at any point, whether today, whether tomorrow, this week, before the New Year's, after New Year's, you can go by and see the portrait. Hearne was an extreme facilitator in making that all happen together. So, but with that, yes, with that being said, also, have any of you been to the Saracen Casino in Pine Bluff? Just by chance, have you been to the Red Oak Steakhouse? If it's still there, I was there maybe 2 years ago, we were there. And so there, if it's not in the high roller room, there's a large self-portrait of yours truly hanging. So you can actually now that you know that, just walk in and say, hey, I want to see the portrait. No, seriously, why do you want what portrait? The portrait that was put together by Hearne Art. You know, call us out. So this is a friend of mine. I was sketching her at the Met Museum. This was back during she's wearing her mask during the COVID years, as I say. But it's a quick ballpoint pen sketch. And these are just ways of, you know, documenting, like interviewing people. And so this is like how I like to, we all take selfies nowadays, I do, but I like to sketch as well. And so I'm just gonna pan around again. Some of these faces are a little bit more familiar than others. So, okay, quickly flip through. That was the various police brutality events. So I like to commemorate certain figures in certain ways. So, and this is at the United Center. A lot of times when I'll do drawings in very abstract expressionist ways, it helps capture a gesture, and that's, you know. So let me see here. And these are just other sketches, other paintings. So, and I have an interest in technology and how things get advanced. So that's a sketch of I saw the Tesla exhibit at the Peterson Museum in LA. That's a Cybertruck. And these are other sketches of sculpture and so forth. But yeah, long story short is that, here's one most recent. Okay, that was at the Getty Center just a few weeks ago. So these are just basically how an artist might want to capture ideas, whether it's nowadays on the phone or with a sketchbook. I feel it's a little bit more tangible. But yeah, I brought in these photographs here. These are photographs of my ancestors, and this is going back to the portrait campaign. But yes, basically what we have here at Hearne Fine Art is it's the portrait campaign. If you want to commemorate someone in your family, whether it's by sketch, whether it's an actual figure, whether it's a landscape. We have a very, very welcoming plan laid out where you can come in and you can sit down and talk, whether if it's my way of painting or drawing, you can get portraits of your family put together. So this is actually my grandparents. I was named, this is William Wade Hampton. My full name is Larry Wade Hampton. Larry, I was named after my uncle, whom I never met. He passed due to cerebral palsy. And this is William Wade. My middle name is named after Wade. If you actually Google Hampton Street, Sweet Home, Arkansas, he was, that street was named after him. He was a pillar of his community some odd years ago, Hampton Street, my grandfather. And so these are, this is a quick photograph of my family on my mother's side. So basically, as I'm talking, going through these stories, it's like, okay, what memories do you have, or what memories that you want to create as part of, in respect to this portrait campaign? So, and let me see here, and this was the performance. I'll let this, I'll let this play through slightly. Let me see if it pulls up. This was at the Presidential Clinton Center last year, fall of 2022. And that was for the Arkansas United 10-year gala. Yes, and I was performing a piece, it's called Monty. My primary focus of dance is salsa, New York style salsa, mambo, okay? Also, it's complemented with other folkloric dances, but this piece was titled, let me turn it up a little bit so you can hear I'll turn it down a little bit. But yeah, this piece was produced by Tito Puente and Mango Santa Maria. And interestingly enough, it was produced in 1957, the same year as the Little Rock Nine. So, yes, and so this was the featured showcase at the gala last year. So I thought that was very nice to have performed there as well. So, I mean, creativity, like what do you find? Are you a writer? Are you a doctor, a lawyer? Do you fix cars? Are you a therapist? What's your do you cook? What's your creation? Okay, but all right, that that concludes this segment of creativity. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the day.
I will also be. I think he actually kind of started the conversation. Everybody can be creative. Getting up every morning and showing up for work requires creativity, especially on January 8th, 2024.